Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi.
How is everybody?
The
Tired.
week is almost over.
Oh my god. Okay, sorry. We need to do that high again. I feel like we sound dead, and that's not gonna intrigue the
Yeah.
viewer. Hey,
Sorry, my bad.
Woo!
hello, everybody.
Hello.
We're all just like,
How are
I'm
you?
tired. We gotta like ramp it up.
Woo woo!
I'm about to start my period, and yeah, oh my gosh, like moving hurts. But talking doesn't, thankfully.
Yeah. I'm okay.
It's good. Okay is good.
Yeah,
I'm exhausted. Like,
yeah, I've been
I've
like
had
really
appointments all
exhausted.
week. Like the past 2 weeks, I've had appointments, and I'm just
I know
done.
they're in our calendar, our shared calendar. we know where Domria's all times because she like is always putting her appointments in our group calendar.
Yeah, you're like
which,
reminding me. Like, by the way, Caleb's appointment.
which is
I'm like, yeah.
adorable. Yeah. Like you got appointments coming up, eh? Like, do you know your kid has a dentist appointment? Doctors, therapy, yeah.
It's nice, yeah.
Your hemorrhoids are getting checked out.
Yeah.
The STD clinic visit.
That was like what? Like last week, okay? Jeez.
Like we know all. You're like, it's not every week, guys. It's fine. Although, I'm not shaming anybody. Like getting checked regularly for STDs, or I think they're called STIs now, is like a really good thing, especially in women, to prevent cervical cancer. Get it checked out. Right. Go as many times.
So many people are asymptomatic.
Yeah.
Like that's a big issue. So many people, especially men, end up being asymptomatic and then they just pass it on. And I say especially men, like statistically, like they show less symptoms for certain things.
Yeah.
It's not your fault, men. I'm not blaming you for this medical, but I'm saying go get checked.
But yeah, like HPV is a very common one too that we didn't even know about forever because a lot of people were asymptomatic.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people forget like that, like herpes and stuff like that, is like cold sores and stuff. It's the same virus. And so like the misinformation on that when it was like in like the 90s, early 2000s led to a lot of people ending up with genital herpes and stuff just from cold sore partners going down on them because it ended up being the same virus. So
I thought it was different.
No, there's two different types.
I thought you couldn't get herpes on the genital from herpes from the mouth.
No, you can get genital herpes in like your armpit and stuff. Like it's just mostly on the genital.
I need to like upgrade my information.
That's why there's like I follow a couple people that live with herpes on TikTok that try to battle misinformation, and a lot of them it's like they're very strict on like if you have cold sores, you have herpes because unless you're getting that tested to which herpes virus, etc., plus your cold sores can still be passed mouth to mouth.
Yeah.
If it's the other virus. So it's like they're very like it's the same virus as type 1 or type 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah.
So if you get cold sores, just be careful not to go down on people and stuff during an outbreak. That's it.
Yeah. Wear a face shield.
Yeah.
Did you know that they're coming out with like a stronger antibiotic for the clap? Because like the clap is very like antibiotic resistant. So that's some good news. So, but if people like don't take their antibiotics right or don't
take them all, even when you start to feel better. Finish it.
We're trying to get rid of the clap, guys, and you not doing it right is not helping.
My favorite is that the highest like STI rates now are like old people.
Yeah, get it, Grandma.
Syphilis too. I think the major one is like syphilis for old people.
You get a little brain damage. Maybe you feel good. They did an episode on House about it. The woman came in and she's like so happy. She's like, I haven't felt horny in a long time. Not since my husband died. Turns out she just had like brain damage from syphilis. They gave her euphoria. And she was like, I'm not curing this shit.
Yeah, she's like, great. I'm so happy. Like, if you can give me a drug to make me feel like this. Like, when I learned about old people, it's called the aging population. when I took school, oh my gosh, 20 years ago, 19 years ago, when I was in college, when we learned about senior citizens, that wasn't in it. But like it was like known, like we talked about, but was not in our like textbooks. And then now I got another certificate for the aging population, and it's in there now.
Good.
So
Good. I'm glad it's updating at least. That's all we can ask for.
Yeah. Was it? Okay, hold on. Who was born in? Okay, so Brandon was born in 2004. No, he wasn't. He was born in 2006. Okay, listen, it wasn't 20 years ago. Thank God. Okay, it was only 16 years ago. But still, that was a long time ago. That 4 years makes a difference, I think. It makes me feel better.
That's good. No, 4 years is a long time.
Yeah.
Like, that's an infant that can't even hold its head up to, like, a kindergarten child. Like, that's a long length of time.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
I'm almost in my golden years.
You're not that old.
Not yet.
I'm kidding. You're like, what, 4 years older than me?
6 years older than you?
Okay, that's nothing.
It's nothing. Yeah, it's nothing.
Nothing.
Nothing. It's a baby who can't hold his head up until the 2nd grade. It's nothing.
Hey, we didn't meet until I was an adult, okay? It's fine.
We're not dating. It's okay. We didn't bone, so it's fine. It doesn't matter. Age is only a number if you're boning. It's fine.
My husband's 4 years older than me. So you're only 2 years older than my husband. That makes you closer in age, actually.
It's because we have like a middleman.
Yeah.
Well, Dobri's also 2 years younger. So like.
So there you go. I'm pretty much average it up, you know?
Yeah, we're all the same.
I'm aged, actually. I'm more like 35. Like, I'm not.
You're like great. You're only turning like 30.
I'm turning 33.
Yeah. I wasn't gonna say it out loud, but
well, I don't care. I'm the baby.
Yeah.
I'm the youngest. I always tell Chris that. I'm like, no matter what, always be your young wife.
Yeah.
Forever. So
what is he gonna do? Trade you in for someone younger?
That's
crazy.
Gross.
Yeah.
I would say more about him. Okay.
Summer, you want to do your thing?
Oh, yeah. Jessica, what are you drinking tonight? I'm so out of it today.
That's okay. That's okay. You had all the appointments and stuff. I'm drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon, but again, strong is missing. So it's just the regular, but I actually haven't had it in like a few weeks, so having a little bit tonight.
Ooh. Sonia, what are you drinking?
I'm having a baby drink. It's so little. But there's only like this much rum and then this much Sprite.
Okay, so more like a 60-40 tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just drinking water. Last night though, I got high. Like I got really, really high.
Ooh.
That's probably why you're so tired today.
Probably. My son, he ordered stuff online and he ended up getting a free gift of THC Pop Rocks. And he's like, Mom, do you want to split this with me? And I was like, sure, why never? Like, whatever. So after like my youngest went to bed, me and my oldest like split half the package each. And my kid like went to bed like pretty freaking early for him. And I stayed up until I couldn't read anymore. And then I went to bed.
Yeah, THC
like
gives you the sleepies. I love THC. Oh, godsend. And like, Usually when Domri has like weed, she's like greened out for 3 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, Dawn doesn't usually partake. Like I
I don't because I'm really sensitive to it, like super sensitive. But like I was like, whatever, I just want to go to bed anyway. So it worked out. Except I'm still dragging ass today.
Yeah. Poor Brandon. So we have brownies to help us sleep, Kara and I. And Brandon decided to self-medicate one day, a couple days ago. And you guys know how strong those are. And he like comes into my room. He's like, "Oh God, I did something terrible. I did something horrible," like freaking out. And I thought he like, I don't know, let the dog out or something worse. And I'm like, okay, like don't panic. What happened? He's like, I was having trouble sleeping, so I had one of the brownies in the fridge. I was like, oh my God, you're just high. It's fine.
There's literally been times where Chris was high and I had to do the same thing. Like it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm like panicking will just make it worse. Yes. Like the way you're feeling is normal. Just relax it.
It'll pass.
Just go watch cartoons in bed. And then he just started laughing. He's like, okay. And then like the giggles started. And then he went off to bed. And then he was sleeping until 2 p.m. the next day.
Yeah, fair.
I was like,
he wanted to sleep.
He did, yeah. And then he did sleep. Oh.
Okay, so what's our topic this week? 11 minutes into the, 11 minutes into the episode.
We're just having fun hanging out.
Yeah, that's what this podcast is, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly.
We already did this one. Yeah. What is that? Why is it coming up?
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. The wheel better not have like restarted because I'd be really sad. What's the best book you've ever read?
Oh,
ever.
Ever
the
read.
Bible. I couldn't even do it. Oh my God.
No.
No, I'm kidding. Although, like, I've seen so many street interviews where people are like, "What's the greatest book ever written?" And people that haven't even read the Bible will be like, "The Bible."
I've read a lot. I used to love the Borers when I was like young, like in the 2nd grade. They're like the tiny little people who live in people's walls. I love the shit out of those books.
I know. I'm like I have to see it. I you know, it's like the best book I've ever read. It like I've aged like that. That changes.
Oh,
so
I'm gonna get it. I edit this part out when you edit, but this is a YouTube exclusive. I'm gonna run and get a book I've had since the 3rd grade. Just
get it.
Hold on.
Gives me time to look.
Okay, I think she's gonna get the Tommy Knockers.
Oh, I have it too. Okay. I'm tangled. Okay. I never know if I should try to be entertaining for the YouTube watchers.
I know, right?
Hi, YouTube watchers.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're watching in this part, talk in the comments below. Let us know what we should be doing to keep the air from being dead for you. Or you can just skip ahead to when Sonia comes back. That's up to you.
Yeah. I don't know how I'm going to answer this question because, like, I read a lot. So this is going to be interesting.
Well, you can do, like, your favorite book as a kid and your favorite book as an adult. or your favorite book
Okay.
now versus
I'm back.
yeah, there's options. Different
Okay.
avenues.
YouTube exclusive.
Woohoo.
Yeah.
Okay. Bam. This
Oh
is
my
called
gosh,
Paul
yes.
Rippey, A Witch of Dirty Habits. It is the first edition. I got it from a used bookstore for $2.50. Now this book is worth $200. So it's amazing. It's about a witch, and she's disgusting. And she has a friend that tells her she's disgusting, but she doesn't care. And she has a hamster that is her familiar. And it's like, I just loved it. And like, it's like a novel, like it's, yeah, kid novel. And there's like a map of the town. Oh, it tells you who all the characters are.
I loved books like that. I feel like it's an autistic thing, like books that gave me like cheat sheets inside about like the characters, the location, the story. Like that was like really helped me. So I always like appreciated those books.
And it tells you the characters in appearance, like the goblins. And then like there's like a map of the town that she lives in. But it was just like so well written, and I absolutely loved it. Like in the third grade. I probably have read it a few times as a grown-up. No shame. You're never too old for books. And I tried to get my kids into it, and they just like constantly told me to fuck off. Not those words, but I feel like I feel like it was, because I loved this book so much, and I wanted to like share that with my kids, and they're like, no, not happening.
I hate that. Like there's so many things that I like that I try to share with my oldest, and he like up I think up until age 6. It was like age 6 he was like, actually mom, I'm not into that. I don't want to do that with you. It's like when they're like 3, 4, 5, they're still like, oh, I just like hanging out with you.
Yeah, they just want to be with you.
Yeah. And then by 6 they're like, no thank you, but could we watch this instead? And then I'm like, I guess, like, I don't want to watch it, but I'm trying to be a good parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then all my interests, he doesn't like anymore. So, yeah, I get that.
Yeah. And you have to be excited about their interests, because that would make you a shitty person. Like, there isn't really a guide on parenting, but like, I would say one of the good rules to be like a decent parent is to share your child's interests.
Yeah.
Like that.
They don't have to share your interests.
No.
You have to share their interests.
At least fake it. Like, you know?
Oh my gosh, it's a good skill. Like so many times I'll just pick up keywords and then I'll just be like, oh, did you level up? And then he goes on like a 5-minute rant about what happened and why, you know, he didn't, when it wasn't his fault or something. And I just go, you know,
yeah. I told Brandon to make a YouTube video page so I can watch.
yeah. Just, fake it. That's the bare minimum. Because there's so many parents out there that don't even fake it.
No. So Kara's little sperm donor guy. Okay, so her whole life, she's like, this is what I like. Let's do this. And then he was like, no, do this, right? Let's not, no child focused things. Maybe a few handful of times he did. But like her whole life, it's always been like, no, you're going to do what I want to do. And she's like, no, even like therapy. She's like, let's go to therapy together so you can figure out how to be around me. And he's like, no. And then the only time he ever listened to her interests is when she's like, I don't want anything to do with you. And then he's like, okay, I'll respect that. You couldn't fucking respect that the whole 18 years. Like, and like, so it's so funny. He saw an easy out, right? So the whole 18 years, she's like, just listen to me. And then the one time she's like, go away. He's like, okay, yeah. I'm just respecting her wishes. So like, just they pay attention. They know when you want nothing to do with them. And then they're adults and they're like, oh, thanks for the shitty childhood.
Yeah. Well, I mean, as an adult, is like when I think about my dad, I don't remember ever doing anything with him that was my interest.
Yeah.
I don't remember, and, like, a lot of the things I like, or I think I like, I was like, I get in that weird state because I was like, "Well, I did this so much just to, like, spend time with my dad, like, this was
Mhm.
my only option." So I'm like, "Do I actually like this thing? Or have I just done it for 20 years trying to get my dad to like me?" So I studied it and researched it and made it, like, just, wasted effort. But
Yeah,
like, so yeah, kids know, kids notice.
they
So,
do. They're just like, "Okay, fuck me then." Like, it's just
Yeah.
like, yeah,
yeah.
pay attention. Oh, I wanna show off another book.
Yeah,
Okay.
go for
Okay.
it.
This is a
Oh
really good
yes.
book. This is Don't Sit There. My Kid Was Just There. I Don't Trust It. And it is from these people called Sonia Villeneuve and Don Marie Walton.
Great
And
authors, authors, highly
Yes,
recommend.
fantastic authors.
and it's a coffee table book, like that you just keep on your. I don't know if people do that anymore, but you should do it. And it's just like Facebook statuses turned into like fun little things. And then there's like some
Memes.
memes. Yeah, hold on, let me find one. Oh my god. Like mommy's fidget spinner. It's a wine thing.
Yeah, it's a wine opener.
Oh, hold on. Oh my gosh.
If you
Oh,
want to see the images, make sure to
yeah,
follow us on YouTube.
on YouTube. Yeah. So this one says, hold on. My husband ready to go after I put the kids to bed, clean the entire house, and can't keep my eyes open. So it's just like a Jean-Luc Picard. I'll like come hither. I have a favorite one. I gotta find it. My favorite meme. Oh, this one. I made this one. This one isn't copying anybody. Explaining childbirth to the kids. Oh, this way. So it's like a chicken. Like
Oh yeah, it's like canned chicken.
yeah, I
Coming
love
out,
it.
sliding out, all gelatinous.
I've had people read this book, didn't buy it, they borrowed it from me, and they loved it. So
I own my own copy.
yes, because you're like
Yes.
a cheerleader. You support your friends.
Yes.
The day it was like released, I was like, I got to buy it.
Yeah, I like it. Some of it, like the references are outdated, so you have to be like a parent for a while.
Yeah.
But they're still the same if you be like whatever today's comparison is.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite books, Dawn? Do you know?
Oh boy. Okay. I read a lot, like everyone that knows of my book channel. So I'm reading like at least a book a day. So to say I have a favorite, it's really hard. But the ones that are most memorable, I will say is I liked Still Beating, which is like a dark romance / psychological thriller mixed in. It's crazy. But like major trigger warnings if you're gonna read it. There's a lot of disturbing content in it. I mostly read romance. I do read some thrillers, but I mostly read romance. And I read my very first male romance, and I loved it. I don't know why, but males with other males just are more romantic. And it was called God of Fury by Rena Kent.
Yeah. Dawn reads so much. Like half the time I'm scrolling TikTok and she pops up with another book review, and I'm like, bitch, this is the third one today. I like it and I move on.
Like,
You're like, yeah,
bitch.
that sounds like a good book. Come on.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not reading it, but like, move on. Like, I'm like, why does she keep popping up? And I'm like, oh yeah, because I keep liking her TikToks because I can't not like them. But so I just scroll. But yeah, no. Do you have like a book as a kid? Because I know you're a reader like now. I don't know if you like.
Okay, so like, well, not I wasn't a kid. Okay, what got me into
I was
novels?
never a kid. I was
No, I never. Okay, I didn't read much as a kid.
That's what I
Because
was
I was
curious about.
illiterate and
Fair.
I hated reading, and so I didn't start actually enjoying reading till like I was in grade 9. And what I read was The Chamber by John Grisham. It's not even a romance. It's actually like a thriller, like yeah, and it was really good. It's 900 pages. Biggest book I read at that time, and it was one of my favorites.
That's awesome. I always think that's interesting. Like, I personally was always a reader. So, like, I'm actually reading less now than, like, I
Yeah, me
want
too.
to, just because I have, like, other things to go on and, like, I have to do other things, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I wish I could read more one day.
One day.
One day. Oh, I have another childhood favorite book. By childhood, I was 13. I have it over there. I'm not getting it. It's called Daughters of Eve. We've talked about it before from Louise Duncan. And yeah, that was like a really good book to read as a young woman before you become like a woman. Because it's like a good, like, I think young girls, young women, like preteens, should read books where women are in positions of vulnerability, but then kind of like overcome that, even if they're like villains doing it. I think like they don't do it in a good way. I think it's really important just because females go through so much shit. I think it's important, like when you're younger, to know that you can overcome that. Sometimes it's not in the best way, but you're still overcoming that. And
I feel like
not
like
best, sorry, the
everyone
healthiest. Yeah.
everyone needs to read books via a male perspective. Like, everyone should, including men, because like, but like, I feel like there wasn't very many options when we were younger,
Yeah.
you know? So it's like whenever there was one, it was like
Mhm.
very like, oh, you know, because like think of like a lot of the big books. Like I feel like Hunger Games was the first one I really like was like, oh, this is a strong female character, and it's not even the main character that's a strong female character, you know? So it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay. But yeah, so I get why that
It was
connected.
like banned in a few states because it
Yep.
has like feminism views.
Nothing's changed. Now
No.
LGBTQ views are banned in some states
Yeah.
when it comes to books, including children's books. So
Yep.
yeah. I guess I'll give some of mine. This book is actually a book I got at my baby shower when I was 18 and pregnant. And it was from my best friends at the time, Ariel and Sage. I'll first name them. And I was sober because I was pregnant, and I don't know what it was, but this book makes me laugh so fucking hard every time I read it. Like I don't and it's a children's book, I'll be honest. It's a children's book, not very many words, very big pictures, but it makes me laugh so much. And it's called Cow 2. Adventures of Cow 2. By Cow. It's by Cow. So if I could read this really quickly for our YouTube viewers, I would very love to see whether I just think this is funny or whether other people think this is funny.
How about you main screen?
Okay. So if you're listening to this, head on over to our YouTube to watch because the pictures with the dialogue is what makes it funny. Okay. The Adventures of Cow 2. And I'm like, is there a sequel? I have no idea, but it's, I don't know. Okay. Now there was a little damage to it. It's, 14 years old. Okay. One day, Cow woke up to an exciting new adventure. He's just sleeping in bed. I've chipped my nose. Will you go to the grocery store for me? His mom's a hippo. Cow jumped for joy. Hold on, I'm going to turn my camera off so there's less glare. Cow took the train to the store. Okay. Here we go. First stop, green beans. Yum, bananas. Now, where are those oranges? Oh, here they are.
Oh.
Cow looked for the best apples so Ma could make a pie. Gosh, those grapes are heavy. Excuse me, ladies. Where would I find the mayonnaise?
I just love, like, it's so, like...
Cow wondered what a frog was doing on a jar of mayo.
They're the same animal!
Cow almost forgot the ice cream. I'll get 2. But there's 3. Happy, Cow smiled and said, peas.
Oh my.
The clock said 1:79. It was time to go. Paper or plastic? Asked the nice grocery lady. I'm plastic, thank you, said Cow.
Oh.
We're almost done. Okay. Okay. Cow's dad was waiting at the store. Hi, Pop. Good job, said Aunt Ernie. You deserve some ice cream.
Fucking peas. Yeah, you deserve all this ice cream.
But Cow just wanted to go to the movies, so they did.
Is that a washing
end.
machine?
Yes.
So they're all a little bit not smart.
So, did you think it was entertaining?
It just like I feel like I could go take pictures of Reginald around like Walmart and just make shit up. Like
That's
I feel
all
like
it looks like.
yeah, I'm gonna make this book, but Reginald. Okay,
Oh
I don't
my
know
God.
what it's gonna say.
Adventures of Reginald 2.
Yeah, I'm going to, and it'll be by Reginald.
Yeah, by Reginald. Like I don't know. Oh yeah. I just noticed something on this book for the first time. I just read the top. It says more amazing exploits of a huggable Holstein. What the fuck's a Holstein?
Isn't it? That's a cow.
A Holstein? Holstein?
I'm gonna go to my mind palace here. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a Holstein is the cow, isn't it?
But it says another adventure, so this might be a sequel actually. So
yeah, the Holstein breed is like the dairy milk cows.
So I have to get the whole collection. I don't know how many of these are now.
You need to.
You need to.
So yeah, so I read that whenever I'm not feeling good. Because it just makes me fucking laugh. Like I remember being so pregnant and being like, fuck this shit. Life sucks. And then I read that book and I cried because I was laughing so hard. And it's just, yeah.
That's amazing.
It's one of my favorite books.
It's probably like all of our favorite book now.
I made myself a little note for gonna be a little thing. Take Reginald to the store and take photos.
There you go.
I'm gonna make one just for our listeners. I don't know what it's gonna say, but there you go.
I'm trying to think, like, a lot of my favorite books aren't my favorite books anymore because the authors are problematic.
Yes.
I a book I read as a kid. I didn't. It's like one of the Forgotten Realms books. Ken just like he was reading and he handed it to me. I was like 10 years old at the time, and I read it. It was like book 2 in a series, and I forgot about it. And then I went back into the series, and then I was reading this book, and I was like, I've read this book before. And then it just like flashbacks of like my childhood hanging out with Kenny. He would just hand me a book and I would read it. Obviously, it's not processing because I didn't remember it. But then I did remember it. I was like, I've read this before. I know what's going to happen next. I'm like, deja vu? No, I actually read this before. But like I read the Forgotten Realms series, The Legend of Drizzt, just over and over and over and over again. That's one of my favorite. Thank you, R.A. Salvatore. That's one of my it's not one book, it's like 20.
I can never like get into like long series like that because I always like quit at like the second book because there's something else I want to read and then I just never can get back to it.
Yeah, you're like, oh, bye. Never
also,
again.
like even Game of Thrones, I've only read like 2 of them fully. Like, you know, and then I like move on. I'm like, I got other things to do. I don't have time to spend on one series.
For this? See, we're all like read so much. Goosebumps.
I love Goosebumps.
Love those.
I had the camping Goosebumps book. It had 3 Goosebumps book in the one book.
Oh, yeah.
Thicker one. But all 3 of the stories in it were camping based Goosebumps, like where they were on a campsite or at a daycare or at a sleepaway camp or something. But it had a built-in light, like book light in it. So you could read it while camping.
Smart.
Fucking brilliant marketing.
Yeah.
Goosebumps. I read so obviously that being the only book I can read late at night, very easily. I read it so much when I was a child. So yeah, Goosebumps. And Fear Street. I liked Fear Street. Like a lot of R.L. Stein, like other R.L. Stein. Yeah.
The older one.
Yeah.
Yeah, the older. There was a book that like kind of traumatized me a little bit. I was definitely too young to read it, I think. I read it at like 13. Child Called It. That like broke my heart. Like
I read that one too.
I don't usually cry, but like at 13, man, just fucking and
Isn't there a sequel that's like something like A Boy Named David?
Yeah. I didn't read that. I couldn't. I was like, I've already read part of your life and it's heartbreaking. I can't read more of your life. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Because it's a true story. Like it's his story.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I don't. Yeah, like I am trying to think of a book I read like within the past year, maybe, or a couple years that was a favorite of mine. I mean, you guys know I read like horror or like gory stuff and that kind of stuff. There was a book called Geek Love, which is don't read if you get squirmish easily. But it was such like a interesting story. It was like a family of geeks like in the carnival term,
the circus.
I like old school circus. But it was like, but for this one, it like it had like these parents, like the father, who was the ringmaster, like kept dosing the mom so she would give birth to freaks. And so she gave birth to like, you know, like 5 different kids, but the last one, who's like a worm child, has like such telekinesis ability. Yeah, like it's so messed up, but it's from the perspective.
I thought he has arm and legs, doesn't he? The one brother doesn't. The one brother is
In
like
Geek Love, because he ends up creating a cult where to get closer to God, they have to cut off their limbs.
did I miss
So
that part?
that's the big. Is it?
It's from Catherine Dunn, right?
Yeah.
When
That's
it's like
yeah.
where is there's they call him Chip or something like that. Chick.
Yeah.
He's like normal. He looks normal.
Oh yeah, sorry. He's no, I'm talking about the first one, the swimming one. Sorry,
the
you're
oldest
right.
one. Yeah,
the oldest one. But he ends up talking a lot because he's a very good talker, and then he ends up starting a cult. And then Chip is trying to fix things because of the cult starting, but Chip ends up making everything set to fire.
Yeah, exploding everything.
yeah, like it was such like an. I loved that one. I loved it.
There's incest as well.
Oh yeah, good into. A Chip helps float some sperm
into the sister.
Yeah. So you know,
there's parts like I loved it, and then I read that Chick had like telekinesis, and I had to put it down. I was like, okay, up until this, it could have been realistic, and then I was like, no, you can't mix science fiction with like whatever this is. But then once I got past that and I took it as like whatever, now it's like science fiction. I was like, okay, I love it. It's weird.
I kind of took it as science fiction the moment they were like drugging her to create like baby freaks and keeping babies in jars and stuff like that. Like the freaks that didn't make it.
No, it took it. I had to wait until there was telekinesis for me because I was like, it could be real life. Like people,
like that's just normal.
Like sick person doing that, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what a geek is in the carnival life, Dumry?
No, my internet keeps cutting out. I don't know why.
Okay.
We can hear you. I can hear you fine. But a geek, a geek in the carnival.
In the carnival life, do you know what a geek is?
Yes, I know what a geek is.
The person who like cuts off chicken heads
with their teeth.
Yeah.
On stage just to get. I was like, "Are you fucking nuts?" Like, and that was the mom. The mom was a geek.
I know. That's what got me into it was that the dad fell in love with the mom the minute she was like covered in blood and just animalistic on the chicken. Like that's hot. Like like I get it, Ringmaster. Like
oh man.
But yeah, I feel like that book just like left an impression on me because like everywhere I thought it was gonna go, it didn't end up going, and then other places it went, and it was just it's retold only through the viewpoint of the daughter
that lived.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the mom lived.
No, I thought she died eventually, and then that's when the daughter went to go find her daughter.
She works the motel or whatever. She's like blind and deaf and dumb.
Oh, okay. Where
and
the daughter is the rooms and stuff, or the housing.
She does. Yeah, so that's why she lives there, so she can keep an eye on her mom, who's like not all there or anymore, and just ignores the past, kind of thing. And she's always like, "I wonder if she recognizes my voice." But
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. The book's not that thick.
It's not. I was just like Amazon list right now, because I need to read it again. I was like, oh man, I need to.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Like now, I need to read it again because like there was like so much in that book, and like the ending, I did not expect coming. Like it was just there's so much in that book that and it's not very thick. I don't know. I guess that is one of my favorite books, I guess, just because it left such an impression.
I had this book for the longest time, and like I donated it, and now I'm like, fuck, now I need it again. Mm-hmm. But now it's like $20, which I don't think is a good price.
I think I got it on Book Outlet.
All right, Goodreads telling me it's $3. No, that's not. That's it. Stars. I can't even. Yeah, no. Is it on Book Outlet? No, I gotta check.
I don't know. I love like I don't know, books like that with like such an interesting story, and books that can keep me guessing because I'm the type of person that tries to figure out what the ending's
Yeah.
gonna be, you know? So if you can trick me, then, you know, I'm gonna remember you. Unless it's
I'm gonna
stupid.
remember
Unless it's, like,
you.
stupid. Unless you're just making it stupid so the people don't
Yeah.
guess. Yeah, then you're just dumb.
You're just dumb.
Excuse me. Books. So Dawn, how's your book going?
I've put a pause on it. Haven't been
figured,
writing.
yeah.
I'm freaking busy, man.
I
hate
know. We see all your appointments.
it. I'm sorry. Okay, February. There's not a single one you guys are like off the hook for February. I can't
Yeah.
promise you anything for March.
Yeah, at least we're good for February.
But that's fair. I feel like that's like the hardest part is like finding the time. So even when I read a bad book, I'm still like, well, at least you wrote it.
At least I got to read it.
Yeah, like that's more than I did. So good on you,
Yeah.
author. Like,
yeah. Dawn and I are writing more books together.
good.
Yeah, eventually we're
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah.
write short
have-
novellas.
Choose your own adventure porn.
Yeah.
Hot.
Mm-hmm. We already have like a bunch of stuff like listed and stuff, and we just need to like write.
You know, like the themes in like porn, like the plumber comes to fix the pipes. You know, like
It's
we're just
so
gonna write short stories
cheesy,
like that.
but it'll be great. Like well written, cheesy stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
For
if
sure.
you like play into that, then
Mhm.
it's like it'll come off better than if you're like being like I'm like no, this is serious porn. Then it like comes off as badly written.
What is serious porn? Like,
I don't know. It's like we're getting down to business.
you're at the courthouse. There's like a speeding ticket. Like I just like I don't know. That's pretty serious. Heart surgery.
Wait,
He tilts her
okay.
back up and then he screws her. Like what?
And well, no, now I'm just thinking that it's the doctor and the nurse, and just there's
Yeah.
a body with the chest open on the
Yeah.
table.
That seems so unhygienic. I just
Could you imagine getting an infection because your doctor was fucking the nurse while you were in surgery?
or like even though like it's an acting thing, being the actor who has to lay on the table dead. Or like not dead, but like
Just ignoring the people beside you fucking. It just
Yeah.
makes me think of like the woman making the salad and she's like in front of my salad. Like she's just trying to ignore the guys fucking in front of her. You never seen that?
You have to send her the link.
No.
Oh, okay. I cannot post the link in the description, but I'm sure if you search like in front of my salad, then it'll like come up because it's like two gay guys. Like, well, no, if they're two guys, but they're gonna have sex with each other in like a kitchen with like an island, and the woman's like making a salad, and then they just start having sex, and she's just like in front of it because she's just trying to make her salad. Yeah, it's memorable, you know. I feel like that's that's the most important part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm sure I've read other good books, but I just can't remember them.
There is. Oh, I'm reading. I can't tell you too much about it yet. I'm reading the Men of the Fall series from Melanie
yes,
Moreland.
I gotta that soon.
It doesn't come out yet, so you have to wait.
No, it is. We got ARC copies. That's advanced reader copies.
Super sweet of Melanie and the good Karen to send us an email with the copies, and it's based in Niagara Falls, which all of us live around. Well, not me now, but like
You know the area.
I know the area, and it's like a mafia type book, which Dom Ray's obsessed with right now. So I think you'll like it. I like her writing. I'm not like a big romance, like that's not, but I do enjoy Melanie's books.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll link. We've had Melanie on during our Tipsy All the Way live stream, as well as on an episode of Books and Booze. So I'll link those in the description. But yeah, she's amazing and a great writer and just all around good person. So that helps.
When I started my book talk account, her books were actually the first books I read, and the one was called The Contract. And it literally read like a rom-com movie.
Yeah, it's
like,
fun. It's cute.
He has to get a promotion at work, but the guy that wants to hire him wants a family man, and well, he's a man whore. So he asked his secretary, who's not pretty, to marry, like to do fake marriage or whatever, so he can get this promotion with this other company. And of course, like, he realizes she actually really is pretty when he actually spends some time with her, and falls in love with his fake fiance wife thing.
It happens. It happens.
Yeah, you're gonna be like spending time together. Yeah.
Yeah. And it doesn't get read as one.
There's a new Mr. and Mrs. Smith movie that's out. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, well, yeah. I was just thinking of like people that are like, but it was yeah. Sorry. I was just thinking of like people that like
Mr. and Miss Smith.
Well, of course not. That ended Brad, did we ever have a name for Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston?
You mean
Bradford?
No, I think after they broke up, people started doing names for celebrities.
They missed that? Oh, that sucks.
Because then it was Brangelina. Okay, I gotta have to see if they had one.
Jennifer Aniston never got one. She was with Brad for so long. Yeah, no, like because Brad, like the split up happened because of like that movie, Mr. and Mrs.
Yeah.
You can tell they were fucking.
Yeah, like too much chemistry, like it's one of those things.
Yeah.
It was the same with that guy with like Lady Gaga. What's that movie with Lady Gaga?
I know what you're talking about. They made that movie, Frig.
Yeah, but then and then they like sang it live at like some award show and stuff.
An award show.
And they had like, he was still married at that time, and they had so much like, you knew that something happened. Everyone fucking knew. And then like a couple months later, he's like getting a divorce. Like it's like, well, I wonder why, bud.
Oh, Bradley Cooper. That's who it is. Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper.
Fucking so bad with names, but yes. See, fucking movies ruining lives. Wicked? No. Yeah, Wicked. Ariana Grande and SpongeBob.
Okay. SpongeBob? What the fuck is SpongeBob?
No, the actor that Ariana Grande, like, he played SpongeBob on Broadway.
Oh, okay.
He's SpongeBob.
His high school sweetheart wife and newborn baby to be with Ariana Grande.
No, and not even that. While he was fucking Ariana Grande, Ariana and her husband and him and his wife and newborn baby used to have like dinner together and shit when she could visit.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy, man. And Wicked is my favorite musical. If this was a musical episode, like that would be my named as like my favorite musical. And now I don't want to go see the movie because of this fucking drama. Because I'm like, these are two terrible people starring in this movie. How dare they ruin it for me?
I read Wicked and the ending made me cry. Have you read the book?
Oh, I've read the book so many times. And then I have the sequel
where her son.
Yeah.
And so she's like just trying to live her life because like she's been like picked on her whole life because she's different. And she's like, and then all of a sudden this bitch comes to like steal her shit and accidentally hits her with water. It was like an accident. And
yeah, I loved how like they showed that like the wizard was just propagandizing shit.
Yeah,
and there's like they're kidnapping all the. Okay, when you read it, because it has the same word with both a capital and a not capital, depending on whether the animals could talk or not talk. So when you saw animals, is that how you read it? Because that's how I read it.
Like aggressively,
animals. Because there was animals with the capital A, and that meant there were animals that could talk, like the professor.
There were people,
people, but animals. But then there was the animals that couldn't talk, and they were the lowercase animals. And so, like, I'm in my head, I'm like, how do I distinguish? So yeah.
Yeah, but it talks about her like allergy to water, just like bathe in like special oils. And then the Oz is actually her dad. Because he is. And then her sister is trying to like is Glenda. And she's trying to be like, hey, like, no, not sister, that's her best friend.
Yeah, it's like her sister's the
No.
one with the ruby slippers who
she had no arms.
Yeah, because they changed that in the musical and they put her in a wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
Like just a wheelchair, you know. She just can't walk. That's it, you know.
No, then how does the house fall on you? Where's the wheelchair? How do your legs get out like
but
that?
Then I think the magic slippers like help her walk. Like I think that's so I don't know. I can't remember exactly how the musical differs from the book, but it's something like she still has arms in the musical.
Yeah. But I really liked it. It was well done, and I cried because I thought she had a really good story, and I thought she should live. Although, like, you know how it ends, like you know how Wizard of Oz ends, and I knew this was going to be the ending. Like, I went in knowing, and then I was really sad that she died.
I kind of like also like the idea of, you know, intersex or like transgenderism with her, like because she was born with like messed up genitalia, you know, like it was but she still had I can't remember the blue fellow's name.
Just the blue fellow. That's what I
The
remember.
blue fella. You know, she ends up having like this romantic relationship with him where she wears like this drape around her waist, but they're still able to like have this brief relationship. And it's just like those kind of things, especially when like I read this book as a teenager, like I never heard of. I'm like, oh my God, like what if I had, you know, like I was a teenager, so I didn't see very many other vaginas at the time. So I was like, what if my genitalia is weird? And I'm reading this book about this woman who's green and she's still able to get some. So good for her.
Yeah. And like, and she loved him. And
and he loved her.
But he had to get married to somebody else because he was royalty or something.
Yeah,
like
something
that.
stupid.
Yeah.
And and the little munchkin that loved Glinda or Glinda, depending on what you read in the book. I never understood the name change thing with her. No. Yeah. Good. So that's a good book too.
Yeah, it was a good one.
Oh, there's so many.
Do you know who else is a really good author?
Who?
VIP, Stephanie Hurst.
Yes.
There was a book I stole from Dawn-Marie. The name is not the fuck. Stephanie, I'm sorry. I have it right here and I can't see that far.
Ruin. So,
yes.
Ruin of Muse of Ruin, or
Yes, Muse of Oh shit, no, that's not it. Muse of look,
Muse of Ruin. It's Muse of Ruin, Stephanie Hurst.
Okay. Yeah. I stole it from Dawn-Marie and I liked it, and I had to buy Dawn-Marie a new one because I wasn't giving it back.
Yeah, I was all like, "You're gonna give this back to me." She's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Oh my God, I've never seen this book again."
This
like,
is
a really bad compliment. Like,
no, but Sonia has a really bad habit of she'll borrow something of mine and I never see it again. Never.
Those are those books, the 3 books. I gave those right back after I was done with them. Which one was that? I kind of like that series
Blood
too.
of Ash, the Jennifer L. Armentrout.
That was
Blood
okay
of Ash,
too.
Flesh of Ruin or something, and those ones.
Yeah.
Kind of gilded.
Some parts didn't make sense, but
okay, it gets worse. Okay, so the first book I was fine with. The second book I was okay with. After that, the third book and on, I gave up. I bought the third book hoping it was going to get better again. It didn't.
Yeah, you're like, no. Is there a 4th one?
There is 6 or 7 books now.
I don't have time to go back and read them all.
No, because the author then decided to do prequels, a series of prequels that in the middle of doing her series. It got so fucking confusing. So I was like, I'm not fucking with this anymore.
Yeah. There's the one that they made a Netflix show, Shadow and Bone. I like, okay, so the books are better than the TV show, but the books really infuriate me because she's supposed to be like this strong character, which she kind of is, but then she's this whiny little bitch when it comes to like her male best friend.
Ugh.
And like it was just like, oh my god, like no.
I feel I like even like women can write books through the male gaze. So it's like I feel like a lot of female authors really have to try to like write a book without, like, I feel like that's how you can tell when like a female character is really strong, if they're written through a female lens that's not really accounting for the the male gaze or anything like that, you know.
Yeah.
I did want to bring up Suzanne Collins because like she wrote The Hunger Games and then all of a sudden randomly released a prequel that was really good. And like because she was a screenwriter, she's really good at writing well-paced stories. And I feel like there's so much in The Hunger Games to like that almost mirror society. Like I'm like, oh, I see how we got there. Like it's not like all of a sudden something happened. It's like, no, this is a slow build up. Like this is how things change in real life. And I wish she would write more one-offs about some of the victors. That would be cool. Suzanne, friend of the show.
Like Hermit.
Haymitch. Yeah. Like, could you imagine like a story from Haymitch's perspective of
right
like
from when he was little all the way up to
him winning the games? Because like just after winning the games, when they like kill his whole family and his love interest, and then it's like then he's living alone on Victory Lane and getting drunk. I feel like that would be the perfect ending because then we know. Or no, actually, I retract that. Up until the next Hunger Games after his show, where he starts being a mentor.
Yeah,
that's
and then
where
his thought process, and then he watches all these people die year after year after year. Yeah. And then what's Elizabeth Banks' character?
I feel like hers is gonna be boring though, because she's growing up with privilege. She's dumb. Like she doesn't recognize the propaganda until after Katniss and everything, right? So like her upbringing is just gonna be like, oh, I'm just doing what you do. Oh, I love the games. You know,
I know, but I hope after they get together, like
oh, you want like a post?
Yeah, like, I want them to like the end of this rebellion. I want them together. Like I ship them so hard.
I know everyone ships. There's actually like in the books they don't really get together. There's a clip in the movie that got cut of them kissing, which pisses me off. Like because Haymitch and her really in the books there's not this like love tension that there is in the movies, which I love because in like that's one of the few movies I think is like not like, better than the books, but it's like
lovers. Yeah.
Yes. Because like you got to think how many years he's been working with her.
Yeah.
And he resents her and he hates her up until a point.
That's the trope. Co-worker.
But like she's so like never phased about these people who die. But she is like, I feel like she has an inner thing where she is phased. Like it is sad. She knows they're probably not going to live, but she's like toxically optimistic. Like, you know, like.
But it's not for them, it's for her benefit. Like, think of what she had to do to draw District 12. Like, she's the announcer at the worst district. Like, she's like, no, I need a victor here so I can move on up.
Yeah.
Like, she says things like, oh my gosh, guys, like, look, you have the same benefits as every other victor here, even though some victors, like, or some, of the kids that are there are coming from districts where they can eat, you know, versus District 12 where they're starving. And she's like, you have the same benefits because she doesn't recognize privilege.
Yeah.
Which I think
everyone's
is like
the same.
Yeah. Which I think is a great, like, it's such like because there's so many people like that believe in meritocracy. But yeah, well, that's why the story is so good because it's good critique. So Suzanne. Right? More in that world, please.
Yeah.
I want
we'll tag her.
Spear guy.
The spear guy. He died.
Yes, he died, but I want his game.
Yeah, but...
Oh, like his life to his game.
Yeah, and then he gets sex trafficked after he wins.
Yeah.
Right?
So, like,
and you could even...
up until he meets Katniss.
Yeah, and you could even do that with the other girl that's like the fiery that gets like
The
naked
wood
in the
girl.
elevator.
Yeah.
And then because like her story was very similar to Phoenix,
but
but because of like her not wanting to be sex trafficked, they killed all her family, you know.
So like Phoenix's family was saved because he's like, sure, I'll suck a dick if I have to. Yeah,
exactly. So, and Tigress. I want a Tigress POV. I got so Suzanne, get to work.
You released all of your character notes. Yeah.
But yeah. There's just so many great books. It's just hard to choose a favorite. It's always like a favorite right now.
You know Stephanie Meyer, right? Like the one that wrote Twilight?
Yeah.
She also wrote a book called Host, or the...
I have it.
I love Host.
That was I liked that more than Twilight. Loved it more than Twilight.
Loved it so much more. I didn't really like Twilight that much. Loved the Host. Loved it.
I like Twilight. It's a guilty pleasure. I don't care. But I loved Host more. And I loved the movie. The movie was good too.
Yes, the movie was so well done. I haven't seen any of those actors really in anything else, but the movie itself was amazing. The actors
really did follow the book.
Got other.
Yeah.
I think The Host was so much better written than Twilight. I think the story of Twilight is the problem.
It's because it has
it takes over like from book 1 to like the book 4 or whatever, book 3, it's 6 months. And like 4 of those months, she's like catatonic. Like I'm exaggerating. It's like a year and a half. But like 6 of those months, she's like catatonic. You flip through those pages, you know? So like it's such a small timeline for like so much to happen. Like by the time like in the first book, her and Edward have only hung out like 4 times. By the time she's like running from vampires and stuff, you know what I mean? Like and again, that's why it's a guilty pleasure. Like I'm totally like I'm in love with how bad it is. And the movies, they did not follow the books, but you know what? They made them better. They made them cheesier. Add that blue filter. Like add it. Thank you. Yeah.
It is fun. Like I like the books, and like if you're not taking them seriously, you're just having like a fun time reading them, having a fun time watching the movie. Easy read. So easy.
Well, okay, this is where like the one Christmas, it was before Christmas and I was at my dad's that Christmas. And he asked me about Twilight because I think the first movie had come out. And I was like, oh, I don't know. I know it's a romance something. And my dad's not into that kind of stuff. So I was like, it's probably terrible. You know, like it's probably so bad. You know, like I'm not into cheesy teen romances. And then Christmas a couple days later came and Santa got me Twilight. So I read it. Because I was like, oh, my dad got me Twilight. I should, you know, after I was so embarrassed because I said it was stupid. I probably should read it. So I read it and then I was like, this is amazing. And I think it's funny because I think my dad bought it not knowing the story. He just thought vampires. And then when I ranted about how cheesy it is being a romance thing, he probably was like, oh, that's stupid. So it probably ended up being like, you know, maybe I would hate it, but then I ended up liking it. But then I still couldn't tell him because he didn't like it now. It was, oh my gosh, my dad and me have issues. Hey, Dad, if you're listening, I'll go to therapy with you. That's fine.
You'll go through it. Yeah.
Do we have any?
Well, we maybe like wrap it up.
Wrap it up. Yeah.
Wrap it up.
Okay. Well, thank you, Stephanie Hurst, for be an amazing author as well as being our VIP Patreon.
Yes, thank you.
Make sure to check out our Patreon because we did add new tiers, including a $2 tier. And all tiers have access. We do have a Patreon. Anyone can join, but if you are a Patreon member, you do get access to the Patreon only section on our Discord. So please check out our Discord. We're trying to get things popping up on there. So
we're like really fun. Like, I promise you'll like our personalities. Like, we're cool people to hang out with.
Maybe.
It
depends on the day.
Depends on the day. We're like an acquired taste mostly, but really, we're good people. We're really good hype men. Like, if you need somebody in your corner, we're your guys.
We're the cheerleaders.
Yeah. We'd be like,
don't make me flip or anything that actual cheerleaders do.
Don't make me do any physical
We can
activity.
do raw, but we're not doing back handspring tuck
it's
thing.
cold here.
There must be
some luscious in the atmosphere.
I said burr. Yeah, all right. We need to watch Bring It On. That'll be so much fun.
Yes. I haven't watched them forever.
Kristen Dunst, yes.
Okay. We're ending it.
We're ending
it.
What is your favorite book? Let us know in the comments. Maybe we've read it, maybe we haven't. So let us know. And we will see you all next week. Bye.
Good night.